Hello and welcome, heroes and Marvel fans, to our channel. If you're ready for action, suspense, and epic battles, you're in the right place. In today's episode, we're diving deep into the heart of the chaos. An alien invasion, a rogue experiment gone wrong, and Ms. Marvel's relentless fight to protect Earth. Trust me, you don't want to miss a second of this explosive story. But before we jump into the action, don't forget to smash that like button if you love Marvel stories as much as we do. And if you're new here, hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an episode of this epic saga. Your support helps us bring these amazing stories to life. Now, let's get started. Ms. Marvel Volume 2. Previously on Ms. Marvel. After years of fighting crime and saving the world, Carol Danvers, better known as Ms. Marvel, began questioning her purpose. Was she truly fulfilling her potential? Could she be more than just another superhero? Determined to rise above and become the best of the best, Carol enlisted the help of Sarah Day, a powerful New York publicist, to revamp her image. Sarah decided to kick things off with a publicity campaign, starting with a "Where Are They Now?" feature on the popular television show Superpowers. But just as Carol started her journey toward redefining her legacy, fate had other plans. While patrolling the New York City skyline, she spotted an unusual green, glowing comet hurtling through the Earth's atmosphere. Something about its speed and trajectory struck her as unnatural. Fueled by curiosity and suspicion, Ms. Marvel chased the mysterious object for over 900 miles, heading south. The comet finally crashed in the small, quiet town of Spalding, Georgia. When Carol arrived, she realized this was no ordinary celestial event. From the shattered remains of the comet emerged the Brood, a violent, insect-like alien species intent on annihilation. The once peaceful town of Spalding was transformed into a battlefield. The Brood unleashed chaos, their sharp claws and advanced laser weaponry turning buildings into rubble. The air was thick with smoke and the stench of destruction. Civilians screamed as they fled, only to be mercilessly cut down by the ruthless invaders. Carol's heart burned with fury as she took in the horrifying scene. With her fists clenched and her powers surging, she soared into the fray as Ms. Marvel. Her cosmic energy crackled around her as she punched through the hordes of Brood, sending their twisted bodies flying. Her strength was immense, her determination unshakable, but the Brood's numbers were overwhelming. She unleashed her photon blasts, beams of energy tearing through the alien attackers. But for every Brood she defeated, 3 more emerged from the shadows. Their serrated claws and sharp teeth tore through anything in their path, including her defenses. Surrounded, Ms. Marvel fought desperately, sweat dripping down her brow. Her punches grew slower, her blasts dimmer. The Brood pressed in from all sides, their alien cries echoing in her ears. They were too many, they were too strong. With one brutal swipe, the Brood knocked her to the ground, pinning her under their weight. Just as the Brood closed in for the kill, the night sky lit up with a brilliant blue flash. A thunderous explosion shook the earth, disintegrating the Brood in an instant. Carol was thrown back by the force, her body landing amidst the corpses of her alien foes. Dazed and bruised, she struggled to rise. As she blinked through the smoke and debris, a towering figure emerged from the glow. Crew. Crew was unlike any being Carol had ever encountered. Standing over 8 feet tall, his body shimmered with an otherworldly blue energy. His skin seemed almost metallic, and his eyes glowed with a cold, calculating light. He carried a weapon unlike anything seen on Earth, part gun, part energy conduit, and his presence radiated raw power. Carol raised her hands in a gesture of peace. "Wait! I'm not your enemy, I'm here to help!" she called out, her voice hoarse but steady. but Crew was unmoved. Without a word, he aimed his weapon at her and surged forward. Before Carol could react, his massive hand shot out, gripping her throat. He lifted her off the ground effortlessly, his strength far beyond hers. Ms. Marvel struggled, her hands clawing at Crew's grip. She gathered her strength and slammed her knee into his face, but Crew barely flinched. His alien physiology made him almost impervious to pain. He responded by tightening his grip, cutting off her breath. Then, without warning, a strange sensation overtook her. Crew's eyes glowed brighter as he invaded her mind. Carol gasped, her thoughts unraveling like threads. She could feel him searching, digging through her memories. "No," she muttered, trying to resist. But it was useless. Crew found what he was looking for. Through her thoughts, Crew learned about Cavorite, a powerful man-made element capable of amplifying energy to devastating levels. The substance had been developed by NASA and the U.S. Army as a potential energy source, but was deemed too dangerous for widespread use. It was now locked away in the heavily fortified McCord Army base. As the telepathic assault ended, Carol collapsed to the ground, clutching her head. Crew turned away, his mission clear. He activated a thruster on his back and began to ascend, heading straight for McCord Army base. But Carol wasn't done yet. Summoning her remaining strength, she leapt into the air, her fingers clawing at Crew's tentacle-like appendages. She managed to grab hold, trying to drag him back to the ground. "Not so fast!" she growled through gritted teeth. Crew glanced back, his expression unreadable. With a swift movement, he sent a pulse of energy through his body, shaking her loose. Carol plummeted back to the earth, landing hard on the rubble below. She groaned in pain as she watched Crew disappear into the night sky, leaving her behind. The battlefield in Spalding had gone eerily quiet after the explosion. The Brood's rampage had ended, but for Ms. Marvel, there was no time to rest. As she caught her breath, a distant, ominous hum reached her ears. The remnants of the Brood's crashed spaceship, emitting faint, alien vibrations. Wiping dirt and sweat from her face, Carol made her way to the crash site, her determination unwavering. When she arrived, she was met with a massive crater, the ground scorched and cracked from the impact. At the center of the pit loomed the Brood spaceship, a twisted, organic-looking vessel that seemed half alive, its hull pulsating faintly as if breathing. Standing at the edge of the crater, Carol's eyes narrowed. Without hesitation, she crouched, her muscles coiling like a spring, and launched herself into the air. She soared towards the alien vessel and burst through its fractured hull with a deafening crash. Inside, the dimly lit corridors were alive with movement. The surviving Brood scurried about, trying desperately to repair the ship. Sparks flew from alien consoles as the creatures hissed and barked orders in their guttural language. Carol didn't wait for an invitation. She unleashed a photon blast that tore through the ship's interior, sending several Brood flying. The alien invaders turned their attention to her, charging with their claws extended, but Ms. Marvel met them head-on. She fought with raw fury, her fists glowing with cosmic energy as she slammed into the Brood one after another. Sparks and debris rained down as the battle raged on, her blows reducing the ship's interior to rubble. She gritted her teeth, refusing to hold back. This wasn't just about stopping the Brood. It was about protecting Earth from whatever nightmare they had brought with them. Finally, after a fierce skirmish, only one Brood remained. Wounded and crawling, the creature tried to escape, but Carol grabbed it by the arm and slammed it to the ground. "Why did you come to Earth?" she demanded, her voice sharp and commanding. The Brood hissed, but said nothing, its mandibles clicking defiantly. Carol's fist began to glow with energy, the light radiating through the dark chamber. She raised it threateningly toward the creature. "Answer me, or I'll incinerate you where you crawl, space worm." The brood let out a guttural growl before finally speaking in a rasping voice. "We fled from Crew," it admitted. "He was our experiment. We were building him, turning him into a weapon. But we lost control of him. He turned on us, and we had no choice but to flee to this planet." The brood bared its teeth in what might have been a twisted smile. "We planted false memories in his mind, made him believe that the Cavorite could strengthen him. But the truth is, it will destroy him. Its energy will tear him apart. And when it does, we will be ready to finish him off." Carol's heart sank. "Do you have any idea what that will do to Earth?" she shouted. "The explosion will destroy half the planet!" The brood hissed, unconcerned. "That's not our problem, human." Carol's glowing fist crackled with anger. "You're the last one on this ship?" she asked coldly. The brood sneered. "Yes, you killed the rest." Carol's lips tightened into a grim line. "Good!" she said, and with a blinding flash of light she fired a photon blast, obliterating the creature. Without wasting a moment, she turned to the ship's core. Her eyes scanned the pulsating alien machinery. With one final energy surge, she unleashed a powerful blast, triggering a chain reaction. The ship's systems began to overload, sparks flying as alarms blared. Carol shot out of the ship as it erupted into a massive explosion, the force of the blast lighting up the night sky. Meanwhile, at the McCord Army base, chaos reigned. Soldiers scrambled to hold their ground against Crew, but their weapons were no match for his raw power. The alien tore through their defenses with brutal efficiency, his massive frame engulfed in a glowing blue energy that disintegrated everything in its path. Explosions rocked the base as Crew moved closer to his target. He ripped through barriers and security doors as if they were paper, leaving behind a trail of fire and destruction. As Carol approached the base, she was struck by the sheer devastation. Smoke and fire consumed the area, and the bodies of soldiers lay scattered across the ground. Her stomach twisted at the sight, but she pushed the emotion aside. There was no time for mourning. Crew was close to the Cavorite. She flew into the base, navigating the smoldering ruins with urgency. Every second counted. But as she neared the heart of the facility, a loud crash echoed through the air. Carol skidded to a halt, just in time to see Crew standing before the secure vault that housed the Cavorite. With one powerful strike, he shattered the reinforced door. "No!" she shouted, surging forward, but it was too late. Crew stepped into the vault and reached for the glowing orb of Cavorite, its energy pulsing dangerously. The moment his hands closed around it, the element began to destabilize, its glow intensifying into a blinding light. Carol flew into the room, the searing heat from the Cavorite washing over her. "Crew, stop!" she yelled, her voice barely audible over the rising hum of the unstable energy. Crew turned to face her, his eyes wild with triumph. "This power, it will make me unstoppable," he declared. But as the energy surged, Crew's expression shifted from confidence to confusion. The Cavorite's glow became erratic, arcs of energy shooting out and tearing through the walls. Carol lunged toward him, desperate to stop the impending disaster. But the light from the Cavorite reached its peak, and in an instant, a deafening explosion erupted, consuming everything in its path. And the episode ends here. The story will continue in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this epic story, please give this video a big thumbs up to show your support. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when the next episode drops. Trust me, it's only going to get more exciting from here. Until next time, stay heroic, stay awesome, and we'll see you in the next video.